Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
Andrew McCart, iFLTV, and I've got to say I'm delighted to be joined by Malik Scott himself. I spoke to you out in Saudi Arabia last time out, Malik, and it's been a few months since then, so how's things?
Everything's good, man. Last time we talked, we was ready to fight Zhang. We came up short in that fight. Got knocked out by Zhang. And life went on, and I went right back to the lab and worked with my clients and fighters and everybody that I work with, and it's been all good.
Good to hear. I will touch on that later on in this interview, but well, you've got some pressing issues. You've got a fight next week in the Misfits realm with Faze Temperrr. Now, a lot of people here in the UK will know Faze Temperrr from fighting KSI. He got knocked out in the first round, I believe, by KSI way back last year. I think it was the beginning of last year. How much has he improved, Malik?
Oh, he improved majorly since the KSI fight. Yeah, he's improved majorly since that fight, but you know, it's a different time change because yeah, he improved from the KSI fight, but now he has a totally different opponent. He has grown, his body has grown. He's at a higher weight class now, I believe, and he's been in the lab and in the gym and around championship quality fighters and championship quality trainers. And he's in a position where, like, it's either if you can't like really make good and perform well under these conditions, then you probably shouldn't even be doing something such as Misfits boxing, if someone wanted to say that, because all the connections he has in Brick House Gym. Like I said, if he's not training with me and I'm going in camp with Deontay or training other fighters, then he has Julian Chu there teaching him. If Julian's not there, he got Kareem there. I don't think I know nobody that have access to so much knowledge the way how Temperrr does. Like he has access to so much knowledge under one roof on an everyday basis of people that care about him, want him to do good, and always willing to give him their time. So, and he takes advantage of it. Like, you know what I mean? He shows up to work every day. He don't have the best days all the time in sparring. But what he do is he show up every day and he listen, and you know, he's a good student.
Josh Bruckner is a guy he's facing now. What kind of performance are you expecting? Now, when I watch Misfits, when I delve into that, although you might, as a pure boxing fan, and I've fought and I've been an amateur, I've done all that sort of stuff. When I watch it, it's entertainment, and every time I watch it, you're almost guaranteed a knockout. They seem to just land that one shot because maybe the defense isn't there quite there. So,
yes.
With that being said, can we see a knockout in this one?
I mean, hopefully. Again, that's always the aim, especially in these fights right here. You know, hopefully. But me, I'm always coming from like just pure boxing. So I just look at it like his job is just going in and do everything he's been taught and come out with a victory. That's the job. If a knockout or if a stoppage come from that, then that's a bonus. And that's why I think Misfits and man, they even give out bonuses, because in all actuality, if you go in there and win, it's good. But if you go in there and knock someone out, it's a bonus. And that's my view on it too. Like, I have no expectations when it comes to that. That's something that I would enjoy. But if it's just, if he go in there and perform and do what he's told and give a gallant effort, I'm extremely proud of him.
I touched on sort of like maybe the defense isn't there for these fighters because they always they're more offensively, it seems, these Misfit guys. Now, for you, when you fought Malik, you were a different type of heavyweight. You were a more defensive heavyweight. You knew how to defend as well as come offensive. You know, modern heavyweights now, they're big, they're solid, they just come forward and throw big, heavy shots. But you had that movement about you where you were defensive. You had defensive mind. Have you taught Faze that side of the boxing game?
Yeah, that's if anyone ever tell you that they trained with me, and if you ask them, the first thing that I do, and it doesn't matter who the student is or whatever, the first thing I do is you're going to do steps. You're going to start from the feet first up, because to me, the foundation predicts on how good your defense is going to be. But if you ask most people, when they think about boxing, the first thing they think of is punching somebody. It's very rare that people even think about getting punched back. That's why when you see people shadow boxing, they don't really be shadow boxing with the real intent of slipping and sliding because the only thing they think about is punching. Now, you take a bunch of kids like from Misfits, and when I say kids, I mean it's grown people in this, but they're kids and their upbringing in boxing is very minimal. The first thing they do is think about punching.
Mm.
So it goes back to what I said before. It should be a positioning game first. You should be getting yourself in a good position to land good punches, so that way the punches that you land is full of quality. If you getting trained by me, there's no way in the world you're not going to learn defense. Even if you go in there and lose a fight, it's not because I didn't teach you defense. I have to teach you defense. My name is Malik Scott. I almost know defense more than I know offense. Like, I'm a safety first person in real life. I was a safety first fighter. Like, you know what I mean? So if you see me training somebody and they not looking good in defense, then that's the character within them. That's the fighter's fault. That's them just not, you know what I mean, following the format. So we'll see. Temperrr has been drilled. He worked on nothing but defense, slip and slide. I told him how to work on defense with guys that's 6'5", his same height. I told him how to work on defense with guys that's under him. And I just didn't teach him defense with his hands. I told him defense with his feet. I told him defense with his shoulders, with his forearms, with his, it just goes on and on and on,
Mm-hmm. Well, that's August 10th next week in Miami, Faze Temperrr. But I've got to ask, Malik, because I see you on
Yes,
Instagram
sir.
and I've seen you training Kate, and I've read articles about Kate stepping into this Misfits realm.
Mhm.
Malik, have you got any light to shine on this? Is Kate? I've known Kate for a long time when she worked on Sky Sports here in the UK, and now I believe she's out in the US now. She's been out there for a few years now. Would Kate like to step in this Misfits and have a fight?
Hold on one second. Would you like to step in
Oh,
Misfits
she's
and
there.
have this fight?
Kate, would you, I've got to ask you this since you're there. I seen you and Malik training on Instagram. Will you step into this Misfits and have a fight against somebody?
Say it again, brother.
Sorry, Kate, like I said there,
Hold on. Hold on one second. Try now?
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, like I said, I watched Malik on Instagram and I've seen you on the pads, and I've got to say, you look good. You look good throwing them punches. So I've got to ask, because I've read a couple of articles as well where they've mentioned you stepping foot in the ring in this Misfits realm. Is that a possibility? You've got a smile on your face. Is that a possibility? Will it happen?
I'd like it. I think we would like it. I have a popular coach who needs to have the time for us to both go into camp. My schedule's not uncomplicated too with travel. So I think originally we felt like this summer period was a little bit difficult to try and find the opportunity to go into camp. And I need a camp because I haven't even sparred. So Malik knows I have a long way to go. But yeah, I'd be down. I think we'd like it, right?
It'd be a lot of fun.
Definitely. Well, Malik, how would you feel watching punches coming at Kate? As a coach and as a relationship, you haven't been in a relationship with Kate. How would you feel somebody punching Kate in the face?
That would probably be, to me, that would be the toughest part. You ever knew you walking into something, but you don't know how you're going to handle it, but you're just taking a leap of faith, and that right there would be the main part for me. But I'm sure after a good training camp, I'm sure after a bunch of good confident sparring sessions that I will leave with, I'm sure that will help the nerves or whatever worries I may have, because we can go in there and we can make things easy, or we could turn it into a science project. And that right there, once again, that goes into really the individual, not necessarily the coach. Like, you want to know what I've learned about this game in the last, you can say probably 10 years, was more important than anything, and to me was a gift of most of all, is being able to follow directions. Like, being coachable is, in my opinion, 75% of the battle. Because, and that's just not in boxing, because it makes me look at people in real life. Like, most people, or not, some people aren't even coachable in life. So I know you ain't gonna be coachable if I get you in the boxing ring and some cameras get around and it's a bunch of people and then someone punch you in the face. Like, it's very hard to be coachable under them circumstances, but the good ones know how to do it. So it'd be just a matter of things like that, because, speaking of improvements, like, since the first day I started training Kate, like, in the massive leaps she has done now, and her skill set is very impressive. Like, I literally could pick things out that I know for sure that I've seen her get better at, like a single heavy bag jab, a good quality jab, not just a but like just a good quality jab, turning her hips correctly on her punches to get more power out of them, not abandoning defense just because you're doing offense, shadow boxing with good intent. So she's made like so many improvements. I love training Kate. It's like a part of it's healing for me too. Before a day or after a long day, I really, really enjoy it. And it's a part of my balance on how I keep everything together with myself.
Good stuff. Good to hear. Now, Malik, I said the last time I spoke to you was out in Saudi Arabia with Deontay facing Zhili Zhang. Like I said, it's been a few months since that fight. I want to ask you, how's Deontay right now? How's his mental state? How's he feeling right now?
Feeling very good, man. I talked to him the day before yesterday. We talk 3-4 times a week at times. Sometimes we skip 3 days, but we always, talk to each other. He's feeling good. Obviously, not just me, but he wish he won that fight. But he's going to physical therapy. Had a few things done to his body that he needed done as far as arm, bicep, right hand, left hand, like just things of that nature. He's been able to do some maintenance on his body, and he's recovering now. And as far as his boxing return, I can't call that right now. Like, you know what I mean? The headspace that we both in is just really enjoying and having dialogue about life. Until the time come again, when and if he wants to fight again, it's all on him. I'm always stand by his side and pursue him, support him 100% in whatever it is he want to do. And but we'll see what the future holds, right?
Definitely. Like, because I've seen, honestly, Lennox Lewis said that he would like him to hang up his gloves, but then on the other hand, you had Anthony Joshua who said, listen, if the desire's still there, keep going, Deontay. So you've got two sides of that coin there, where one legend is saying this, but then a fighter who's been mentioned with Deontay for the best part of maybe 6-7 years, maybe even longer, is Anthony Joshua, who said, listen, if the desire's still there, a couple of losses don't mean nothing, especially in this heavyweight game. So keep going if you want to keep going.
Yeah. And you got to realize AJ is coming from a point of view of where people were saying he should have retired after his first loss. That comes with, you want to know something? That comes with it. I was looking at VHS the other day. I was looking at when Lennox Lewis got knocked out by Oliver McCall. Before he got knocked out by Oliver McCall, everyone wasn't even that really big on him. But then once he got knocked out, they was like, why is he even still fighting? He should retire. And he made a couple moves on his team, put himself in a better position, and he was just able to come back. I think not just in boxing, but in life, things is about, you're going to have like defeats, and you're going to fall. It's all about the time, and it's all about self-awareness. If you're very, very self-aware of yourself, then you know what you really go to bed thinking and feeling every day. And whatever that feeling is, that's the real you. So if Deontay goes to bed every day feeling like, I'm going to be champion again, I know I just lost again, then he can do it. But if he go to bed feeling like, I don't want to do this no more, but when I get up, I'm going to say, I do want to do this, and then I don't. Sometimes I forgot, what's the recent fighter name? Is it, hold on, is it Gennady? No, it's Lomachenko. Him and Tank is talking about fighting, and all of a sudden he say, you know what, I don't feel like doing it. I could respect that 100%. Because what he did is what fighters go through sometimes. He just reacted in a proper way for it. Most fighters in Lomachenko's position would have still went forward with a fight. Financial reasons, pride reasons, ego reasons. You got to respect the man that, yeah, I was up for it 3 weeks ago, but I just played with my kids today. My wife just hugged me in a way that made me feel different. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And he just literally called the whole fight off with Tank. Not literally the whole fight as if they had a date, but the negotiations. He just said, just forget it. I'm not in the space to fight right now. You got to be willing to be, honest and real with yourself. And Deontay is that way. He's very self-aware when it comes to that, and he know how important his health is more than anything. So, like I said, if he wants to do it, he's still the hardest puncher in the history of the sport. We're going to rock and roll. And then if he don't, And we're going to live life and continue to talk 3-4 times a week and just talk about life and kids and what we want to do, or if we want to travel, or like whatever the conversations may be. Boxing is an element of one element of our relationship. I know people sometimes think like, well, that's not a good thing for a fighter, but it just so happens, like, you know what I mean? It is what it is with me and him. So, we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell exactly how things go as far as his boxing career moving forward. But right now, he's enjoying that money. It's a lot of money to enjoy. And he's heavy into real estate. He's doing his real estate stuff, and body recovery and taking care of his body and things like that. And honestly, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not, whatever it is he's enjoying right now, I'm in support of all of that.
Definitely. And listen, fair play to him as well. He's been, if he does retire, we've had many a good nights with Deontay Wilder. Malik, I'll have one final question for you. Maybe Kate can get involved in this. There's a huge heavyweight fight out in London. Derek Chisora against Big Joe Joyce. Can I get both of yours opinion on this fight? And can you pick a winner?
I'm going to go with, I truly believe that they're just going to beat the shit out of each other for as long as it lasts. That's where I'm going.
But who's going to
say it all.
Yeah. But who's going to beat the shit out of who more?
You would have to go with Joyce, I'm believing, because of age, size, and everything. But lately, Joyce has been looking like, I know people are going to say, well, he always been slow. He's been looking a lot slower than his regular slow lately. And I think Chisora's going to come forward and left hook, right hook, tie up, left hook, right hook, tie up. They're going to have little moments, but I'll definitely see the fight going the distance. I don't see no knockout.
You agree with that, Kate?
Yeah, I mean, no one's in for an easy fight with Derek Chisora, but I think the age factor is the one that I would go with. And I would say Joe Joyce for that reason. Just because I think at some point, age has to take a toll. How old is Derek?
40.
40 and been in wars. Like at some point that has to count for something. So yeah, I would say Joe.
Yeah. Listen, Malik, Kate, thank you so much for doing this for iFLTV, and have a blessed day. And hopefully I'll catch up with you soon. So thank you very much, guys.
God bless you, brother. Peace, man.
God bless you both. Thank you.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.